always feel like somebody's watching me. What's up, tribe? Well, you may feel like somebody's watching you if you've been living in the hood all your life or something like that, right? What's up? Welcome to the Conversation Letters. This is the reverse hypnosis segment, and we're going to be talking about Menace to Society today. A lot of us have watched the movie. If you haven't, check it out. It's a hood movie. And I want to really dig deep and talk about the characters. I'm going to talk to you about why at the end of the movie, so please stay. End of the movie. Wow, it's going to seem like a movie at the end of the video. So please stay until the end, okay? See, the film started out with a scene that pictured the Watts riots that was in South Central LA. And that was in the year 1965. The Watts riots was 6 days long, but $40 million worth of property damage. When the riots stopped, and this was in the civil rights movement, and when the riots stopped, the drugs began. Okay? So let me tell you a brief story. One day, it was about a couple years ago, I sat down and watched Menace to Society over and over and over again, and I didn't know why. Because I didn't watch Menace to Society like that. I watched it. After you watched it once, it's like you know what this movie is about. But I watched it over and over again, and I noticed why. I thought why. It was a time in my life where I was going through a lot of bad stuff, poverty stricken, and I felt like I didn't have no way out in the hood, seeing things. And man, you only know if you grew up in the hood. And I felt like I had that mindset like, man, is this all there is in this lifetime? So I kind of kept watching it. It was that mindset. I was stuck into the movie mindset of poverty and all the drugs around me, all the pollution around me, the murder around me, blah, 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 blah. So let me ask you something. Do you have a time in your life where you went through that? You basically was living by sight and not by faith. And now I'm living more by faith and not by sight. So let's get to the movie Menace to Society. I just want to throw that out there. In the movie, people were mentally sick. Those hurry up and buy liquor stores that we still have today in the hood. Let's talk about Cain. Stay up, Cain, because he was the main character in the movie. Cain grew up in the hood life. And he had this hood life and this devastation within his DNA, y'all, that some of us still carry on as generational curses. Because his parents, he saw and heard things as a child that he shouldn't have, but a lot of people, a lot of kids in the hood do. And if you don't live in a hood or you haven't, you still could have, been brought up in that way in suburbans or wherever you lived, saw and heard things that you shouldn't have. But about the movie, he had that dope man mindset early on. But he had his grandparents after his parents have died or whatever. He had his grandparents. And his grandparents loved him. They preached the gospel to him. But, he didn't want to listen. But I noticed he wore, I think, a cross on his neck, or some of his homeboys did. It was interesting that they didn't want to listen to the gospel. But they wore the jewelry, the crosses. That kind of made me wonder, why did they really do that? Yeah. And they didn't want to hear the word. Monkey see, monkey do, right? They never really thought about things. That's like when his grandpa asked him, Cain, do you want to live or do you want to die? And he said, I don't even know. It's like it's a numbing mindset in a hood where you haven't really thought about your life at all. You just going with the flow of things, doing what everybody else is doing. Anyways, let's talk about Tat. That was his father. Cain's dad was an ex-con who killed somebody right in front of him, right? He wasn't afraid to go back to prison, as we can see. And a lot of men in the hood are like that. And they're numb from the life experience that they have. And do they seek counseling or some type of help? A lot of times, unfortunately, no. And that's one of the biggest problems I feel like. We need a lot of counseling because there's a lot of mental illness going on within our neighborhoods. So his mama didn't want to see these things go on, but she was so numb, excuse me, because if she was an addict that she couldn't tell the difference. Let's get to O-Dog. Ooh, O-Dog was a sociopath. Oh my God, he didn't have no kind of moral code. Talking, I see a school bus, man, that makes me think about, kids in the neighborhood. And I'm talking about, Menace to Society right now, but how kids are affected by how we are affected as we grow up in these type of societies. Anyways, he didn't have a moral code. He would kill anybody, kids, grandparents, or whatever. And Cain, in one of the scenes, of course, we know he said, I won't kill no kids or no old people. But Cain, Old Dog is like, I don't care. I will kill anybody at any time or anywhere. It was his second nature. No, it wasn't. It was his first nature. In the film, he murders. And he sells the videotape like it's a party tape. He's so numb and he thinks this type of stuff is like for fun. Like he just really don't give up. Shut your mouth. Man, that makes you wonder, right? A person that just will do it, it's like it's a reflex to them. That was Old Dog's mentality in the movie. And Harold, let's get to Harold. He only had a short scene in the movie. He was in the movie in the beginning where some guys was trying to rob him, told him to get out the car, pulled out their guns, but he didn't want to get out the car fast enough, so they shot him dead. Makes me think about that. Like, was it that serious for you to save that car or save your life? So anyways, yeah, Harold didn't have a lot of time in the movie. Ronnie, let's talk about Ronnie. We have a lot of Ronnies within the neighborhood, strong single moms, because the dad, Purnell, I think his name was, yeah, Purnell, was in prison for life. So she had to be strong. She was forced to be strong for her son. She attempts to raise her son not to grow up by the same hood standards that she has grown up to be, not to be a statistic, right? And Cain looked out for them, Ronnie and her son, because Purnell looked out for him. So, you know. Anyways, Stacy, let's get